Good afternoon and welcome everybody to this first video ever for the channel. This is G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero Costume Club, or ARAH for short. I am your founder, Wild Bill Colopole, or just Wild Bill for short. I wanted to take a few moments to introduce you to our club and to give you a perspective of who we are and what we do. First and foremost, we're a fan club of the G.I. Joe franchise. We have members that have been into G.I. Joe since the 60s, the 60s toy line. I myself was a child of the 80s, born in the 70s. The G.I. Joe cartoon was the thing that I followed the most. I mean, I dabbled a little bit in the comics, but I absolutely fell in love with G.I. Joe, and I absolutely love the culture and the franchise itself. So we have been in existence since April 24th, 2011. Yes, that was Easter Sunday that year. It took me 6 weeks to write our charter and to get everything organized, and so on that day is when I had officially opened the doors. And by the end of that first year, 2011, we had 13 members, which was ironic because that was the toy line of the very first year of the G.I. Joe 3 3/4 action figures was 13 action figures, and we had 13 members, and I was so stoked about that. So we have been in existence since 2011. We have had some ups and downs, but that's just typical stuff in any kind of an organization. We have become international. We have a member in Germany. We have a member in British Columbia. So that qualifies us as international. We do focus on a Real American Hero because that's kind of what I grew up with. But we're not limited completely to that. However, that's just that's the bread and butter of what I like to focus on. There are over 300 costume characters, 300 G.I. Joe characters and costume variations to choose from. So I mean, we have a wide variety. Why do we do this? Because for one, it's fun. That's the number one rule of this club, is we do it for fun. We do it to interact with fellow fans and just to promote the franchise. Hasbro doesn't ask us to do this. We do this out of the love of the franchise. And in fact, we appreciate Hasbro not shutting us down, and we thank them for allowing us to do what we do. We take no money for anything that we do. We are we just do this to have fun. So thank you, Hasbro. Thank you, Larry Hama, for this wonderful franchise that you have brought to us that, people like myself grew up in. So yeah, we are a costume club, and so we focus on costumes. Now, while I have tried to build a community of just franchise fans, which there's a lot more people that are just there just to, because they're fans of the genre, not so much because they're there for costuming, and that's okay. But we are a costume club, and we are our own identity. We are ARAH. I'm not going to name drop other clubs, but I mean, there are other clubs out there, and I have no issues with any of these clubs. Really, they exist in their own areas, and we exist in ours. And there's some crossover. There's I have members that are members of other clubs as well. That's fine. I encourage that. It only fosters unity and harmony between all the various clubs. So there's no competition, at least on my part. I'm not out to compete with others. I just want to have a good time. So I endorse people in having a good time. So we do this because it's fun. We do have costuming standards. We have rules, regulations, like any organization should. And I will cover those in future videos. This is just meant to be an introduction. Please feel free to come find us on Facebook. I'll post a link down below. It is a private page, unfortunately. I apologize for that, but again, I got so tired of advertisements that were just not necessary. This is a family-friendly environment that I try to promote. I really didn't think it was appropriate for male enhancement advertisements. I mean, kids don't need to see, advertisements for boner pills, that kind of stuff. The Oakley sunglasses were one thing. I could care less about that, but it was really what it came down to was the male enhancement stuff, and I felt that was just inappropriate for our club setting in the environment that I'm trying to foster. So I do apologize for that, but now that you understand why it is that I have made it private, hopefully you can get on board and support my rationale on that. So our number one rule is to have fun, and that's all it is. I believe in being cordial and friendly to others. I like to be treated well, so I try to treat others well. It's the golden rule to treat others as you'd want to be treated. So I'm not going to babble on too much because this is supposed to be an introduction. I am your founder, so now you have a face to the name. I am Wild Bill Colopel. My door is always open. Anyone has any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to reach out to me, and I will gladly address them. And I will address them as quickly as possible. I do have a job Monday through Friday, swing shift, but I do try to stay connected as much as possible. So future videos will be coming, and I appreciate all feedback. So please leave your feedback, questions, comments, concerns, good or bad. I mean, I have a thick skin. I can take criticism as well as compliments. I appreciate the compliments, but yeah, that's just who we are. We are ARAH, and we are here as a costume club, and we do this to have fun, and we do this to promote the franchise, and we do this to interact with fellow fans, and that is about it. Please join us at our Facebook page. Like I said, I'll link that below. Other than that, I guess the last thing I should say is Yo Joe, Cobra. But knowing is half the battle. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.